What's up, people of Volt? I'm Volt Voice, and the gameplay you guys got right in front of your face right now is a quad KEM strike on the map Strike Zone using the Golden Honey Badger by Volt Jones. And Jones has been dropping some ridiculous gameplays as of late, so get used to seeing a lot of him on this channel, because you guys are going to be seeing a lot of him, because like I said, he's been dropping some insane gameplays. And that's also a reason why you should check his channel out, as his link will be in the description down below. And while you watch this biblical gameplay, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to become a better commentator. Now, I'm not a pub-stomping god like the players you're going to see on this channel or any other pub-stomping channel, so I can't give you tips on how to become a better Call of Duty player or how to get these insane score lines, because that's not what I do, that's not what I'm good at. And even though I'm not the best commentator to ever walk the face of the earth, I can definitely give you guys some tips on how to improve your content. As not too long ago, I was actually in that same position that some of you guys watching this video are going to be in. Maybe your commentaries aren't up to par as everyone else's, and you're looking to improve, and you're not really sure how to go about it. That was pretty much where I was over the summer, not really too long ago. And everyone really has their own ways of getting better, but this is just generally what worked for me. Now there's three main tips, the first one being the most important one, and also probably the most cliche one, and that is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, practicing commentaries may sound like something that's like a strange or weird thing to be doing, just because recording commentaries is essentially you talking to yourself. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm not talking to anyone else, there's no one next to me that I'm having a conversation with. I'm pretty much just talking to my mic or my computer screen or whatever the hell I'm looking at. That's what I'm talking to. It's not like practicing for your baseball team where you can go to the batting cage with your team, or you can go to the field and take grounders with your team. It's just you sitting in your room or whenever you record your commentaries, just talking to yourself. And that alone is something that takes a while to get used to. I mean, when I started getting into YouTube, I used to like whisper in my commentaries because I didn't want anybody to hear me. And it was just a big struggle just to get past that whole I'm just sitting here talking to nobody thing. That was probably the biggest reason why my commentaries were lacking when I first started out, and for the first few months of my channel. I mean, when people get into YouTube, they don't realize that. They think like, oh, it's just talking over some gameplay, how hard can that be? But they don't realize that there's more to it than just that. So, just like it goes with everything, the more commentaries you do, the better you're actually going to get at commentaries. So, like I said, practice, practice, practice. So don't pull an Allen Iverson and skip practice, you actually want to practice your commentaries. The number 2 tip for how to improve your commentaries is going to be do more than one take. This is something that I think that most people skip over, they don't really take into consideration. And by do more than one take, I mean don't just sit down, hit the record button, and talk about a bunch of random things while watching the gameplay and then hit the stop button, and that's your commentary, that's what you're going to post. I mean, people aren't interested in hearing a commentary with no structure to it at all, where the commentator is just scrambling for their thoughts, and it only takes one take. It generally doesn't turn out well. I mean, some people, as they get better at commentaries, they can just hit record, talk, and that's great. It's a great commentary. That's just some people, though. That's not everyone. That's definitely not me. Now, multiple takes can mean a few different things. One of them being you just hit record, you talk for however long you need, and then you stop the recording and do that multiple times and you use the best take. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this style, but there are plenty of other people that actually record their commentaries like that. I'm sure there's commentators on our roster that do it like that. It's all just personal preference, it's all what works for you, and that's up to you to figure out what works for you. I can't give you 100% guaranteed tips on how to become better. That's something that you have to figure out on your own. But since this is me talking and not anyone else, I'm going to give you guys tips on what helps me, and maybe someone will be like me and this will help you as well. Now, I record my commentaries in chunks. So what I mean by this is I'll hit the record button, and when I mispronounce a word or I mess up a bit, instead of scrapping the entire thing and then just starting over, or just correcting myself real quick in the commentary and then just going on with the like nothing ever happened, I'll remember where I messed up and I'll just continue recording on that same track or the same recording. So this way, when I finish recording the entire commentary, I can just go back and edit out what I don't want, and I can edit out just the spaces of just where I'm thinking about where I left off. Now, when you do record your commentaries like this, the recording itself is actually going to be a bit longer than usual. I mean, it's not the fastest way of recording and editing your commentary, but that's how I like to do it. I like to put a lot of time and effort into my stuff. I like to proofread or proofcom, if you want to call it that. And one thing I do not want you guys to get from recording in chunks is record as like a sentence at a time. Because when you go back and edit that recording, your final product will not sound fluent, it'll sound really choppy, like one part of it will be like one tone of voice, and then your tone will just like skip down, then it'll just be all over the place. People will be able to tell that you edited the commentary way too much. And now the third and final tip is prepare beforehand of doing the actual commentary. Now if you're like me, and you're like most people, you're going to lose your train of thought throughout doing a commentary, especially a longer commentary. I mean, this one is probably one of the longer ones I've done as of recent. So writing down notes is generally something I do for every commentary, but it's going to be extra important for a longer commentary. So what I mean by writing down notes is I mean write down what you're going to mention and what you're going to talk about throughout your commentary. Don't write down word for word what you're going to say, because that doesn't really usually turn out too well. Now, I mean, granted, there are some people who can make that style work. It really all depends on what type of commentaries you want to be doing and what you're good at, and you'll learn all that type of stuff as you go along in your so-and-so YouTube career. Once again, that's one of those things that I can't 100% tell you that you're going to do that, that's what's going to help you. That's something that you have to figure out on your own. And the gameplay is pretty much wrapping up, and like I said, Volt Jones did drop a quad chem strike, and he is an absolute monster, so go check out his channel, link will be in the description down below. If you enjoyed my commentary, or you're just interested in checking out what I have to offer over my channel link will be in the description down below as well. And don't forget to hit the like button and show some support for Volt. We really do appreciate all the support, and as always, I'm Volt Voice, and I'm Gonzo Alonzo.